We recommend this product be installed by a competent gunsmith.
Modification of your firearm may nullify the warranty of the firearms manufacturer.
No liability is expressed or implied for damage or injury which may occur from improper use or installation of this product.
You are responsible for the safe handling, legalities, and use of your firearm.
Warning: always wear safety glasses when working on firearms. Hi, and thanks for tuning in to the Apex Education Network. I'm your host, Scott Folk, and today I'm here to show you how to replace the factory magazine release from the CZ P10 pistol with the Apex Tactical Extended Magazine release. Before we get to the installation, I want to show you the differences between our four options for the CZ P10 mag release. You have the competition versions that are the longest, and you have the tactical versions. We also have them for the left side and for the right side, giving you 4 total options. For this installation, you only need a couple of tools: a 3/32 inch pin punch and a pair of needle nose pliers. With your frame field stripped, the first thing we need to do is push the trigger bar all the way forward so it locks the trigger out. So we're just going to press the trigger bar forward until the trigger safety is holding the trigger body against the frame. This will make space for us to get the magazine release out. This little silver guy in the middle is your magazine release. We're going to grab onto that with a pair of pliers, and we're going to push the magazine release pin out of the frame and replace it. First thing I'll do is I'll take my pliers and I'll grab onto the top of the magazine release. And if I articulate it slightly forward, I'll take the pressure off the spring. So all I'm doing is grabbing on and rotating it slightly toward the muzzle of the gun. I'll use my pin punch from either side and I'll push the pin that retains the magazine release out either side of the gun. Once I have it partially removed, I should be able to pull it all the way out. I'm letting my pin take its place in the frame for the time being. I'll grab onto it with my needle nose pliers. I'll press downward as I remove the pin, and I will gently lift up and relieve the spring pressure underneath. Your magazine release spring is easy to lose, so be aware that it's inside there and don't go launching it out of the frame. With the magazine catch removed, now we can get rid of the mag release button. So I'll press it out either side and pull it out of the frame. Take note that the thicker ledge, or the wider ledge, is down toward the bottom when you removed it. We'll install the Apex version with the same orientation. I want to go through the differences between the Apex component and the factory component of the magazine release. You'll notice that the factory component is metal injection molded, has some little sprue marks and such like that on it. It also has a larger V-notch in the core, which makes it omnidirectional, so it can be used left-handed or right-handed. The Apex magazine release has a single notch in it, which is designed to be unidirectional, and it's a machined part, machined from steel and then melanited for durability. I'm going to set this one up for myself as a right-handed shooter. This one is labeled RH for right hand and has a dot at the end to denote that it's a competition model with the longer stick out. Before I go to install the mag release, again, I'll make sure the trigger is pressed all the way forward so the safety is holding it out. I'll take the magazine release and I'll put it through the frame, again with the open notch to the top when I install it. It can go in from either direction. I'll get that roughly centered in the frame, and then I'll be able to put the rest of the components in. With the magazine release in place, I'll go ahead and put the magazine catch pin back in the frame. I'm only going to put it in about 1/3 of the way so it's in place ready for me to use. Now I'll grab my magazine catch and I'll use my pliers to put it in the frame. This is the magazine catch. The part that my pliers are grabbing is the part that grabs the magazine. The tab here at the front is what the spring compresses on, and the piece at the bottom is what the magazine release hits to cause the magazine to be released. So this tab has to compress the spring inside the frame. I'll take my magazine catch and I'll put it on top of the spring, and I'll compress that spring down best I can, and once I get it aligned, I'm going to push the pin through to try to capture the magazine catch in position. This can be a little bit tricky, but once you feel the spring compress, you can push that pin in. And once you get most of the way there, you can check it from the side and see if it aligns or not. And if it does, you can push all the way through. Sometimes you need to grab the magazine catch with your pliers and kind of shift it around a little bit while you push the pin in. I'll push that pin from the back side here and try to get it to line up. Oh, there it goes. Once it lines up, it should pop into place and be sub-flush on both sides of your frame. With the mag catch installed, I'll test it, and you'll see that the magazine catch articulates fully and returns under its own spring force. After installation, we need to put the trigger back in the reassemblable position. So what I'll do is I'll push the trigger body forward, I'll hit the safety tab, and let the trigger body move backward. Now we can reinstall our slide easily. With the mag release installed, we're ready to do a function check. We'll take an empty magazine, put it in, make sure it locks into position, Press the mag release, pops right out. Every time. Locks itself in, it seats nicely, and drops back out. We're good to go.